last night. A teenager and a 38-year-old man are dead following a shooting incident just before midnight on Tuesday at Middlewalk Buxton, East Coast, Demerara. At least 6 other persons are injured. Dead are 17-year-old Leon McFarlane of Lot 71 Middlewalk Buxton and 38-year-old businessman Mark Anthony Correa of Lot 75 Republic Drive, Bettigo-Acting. Those wounded in what police are treating as attempted murder are 60-year-old Lyndon Adams of Sideline Dam Buxton, 54-year-old Alwyn Fifi of Middlewalk Buxton, 26-year-old Davel Talbot, a special constable of Middlewalk Buxton, 18-year-old Akeem Tuman of Middlewalk Buxton, 35-year-old Sherwin Nero of Friendship East Coast Demerara, and a 17-year-old male whose name is being withheld. Investigators say the group was gathered at a shop owned by Asher Robinson, a 41-year-old businesswoman, socializing, playing cards, and dominoes when the attack occurred. Robinson told the police she retired to bed at around 11 p.m., leaving the men inside her shop. Just before midnight, however, she was awakened by the sound of multiple gunshots. On checking, she found Correa slumped over a table, bleeding heavily from his mouth, nose, and back. She raised an alarm, and with the help of neighbors, the wounded persons were rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital. McFarlane was pronounced dead on arrival. His body bore suspected gunshot wounds to the right hand, chest, face, forearm, and right foot. Correa's body was taken to the Enmore Regional Hospital, where he too was pronounced dead. He sustained multiple gunshot wounds to the back, shoulder, face, palm, and head. Both bodies have been sent for post-mortem examinations. McFarlane's at the GPAT mortuary and Correa's at the Memorial Gardens Funeral Home. Those injured remain hospitalized at GPAT receiving treatment for suspected gunshot wounds. Crime scene investigators recovered 40 spent shells along with 4 projectiles and 2 fragments, all of which have been lodged as evidence. Police have since received reports that a silver motorcar believed to be used by the shooters was seen circling the area moments before the attack. One of the wounded men is reportedly entangled in an ongoing conflict with a gang known as Team Diamond. He is currently under police guard as investigators pursue leads into what appears to be a targeted, gang-related shooting. Today, we're also reporting that a driver who fled a fatal accident scene has finally been apprehended. 4 months after fleeing an accident scene, police have arrested a driver accused of crashing into Burby's family riding an electric bike in March this year. The tragic accident claimed the life of 9-month-old Ellie Surge-Narain and her 19-year-old mother, Kavita Bedsan. Police headquarters reported that an intelligence-led operation at Line Path Region 6, East Burntine, was led by a in the Springlands Police Station District between 18 hours and 18:30 hours Tuesday. This operation resulted in the arrest of Avinash Naidu, the 32-year-old driver who was involved in the fatal accident. Naidu was escorted to the Springlands Police Station pending further investigations. Reports indicate that Tushan Surge-Narain, 17, was riding an electric cycle on March 2 with his wife Kavita and their baby Ellie. They were struck from behind by a white Fielder wagon. Tragically, the baby succumbed to her injuries while en route to the hospital, and 2 days later, Kavita died. The car involved in the accident was located, but the driver had been on the run for months. As political parties fan out across the country ahead of the September 1 general and regional elections, the East Coast Demerara community of Golden Grove seems to be embracing the governing People's Progressive Party Civic. Long known as a bastion of opposition support where the PPP once struggled to muster even a handful of votes, Golden Grove on Tuesday evening presented a strikingly different scene, one that many see as a symbol of changing times and shifting loyalties on the East Coast corridor. Where once the PPP's meetings would be disrupted, heckled, broken up, or simply ignored, Tuesday's rally drew a crowd that was vastly different than the times when the party managed to squeeze but just a few votes from this community. At the 2020 general and regional elections, the PPP secured just about 17 votes from Golden Grove at the national polls and 19 at the regional ballot, a minuscule figure compared to the APNU AFC's overwhelming hold that netted over 4,000 votes in the wider Haslington-Nabaclis area, which includes Golden Grove. Yet on Tuesday evening, as red flags fluttered and speakers fired up supporters from a packed stage, the reception told a new story, one of a village beginning to embrace change and openly entertaining the once unthinkable, That is, the PPP could be part of its political future. For villagers like Samuel Sandy, a self-declared crossover from the PNC-led APNU, the tide is indeed turning. Reflecting on the days when the PPP might receive just 1 or 2 votes in a polling place, Sandy told the newsroom that people are no longer burying their heads in the sand.
Even of recent as 2020, the PPP would have garnered just about between 5 and 7 votes, Golden Grove combined. And so with also the local government elections of 2023, we saw that there's a shift. And so the PPP was able to gather just over 20-something votes. For me, even if you gain 1 additional vote, it is still better because this is like home run, all right, homegrown for the PNC. And so any kind of success in this particular community is one worth celebrating. People are no longer, burying their heads in the sand. They see what is happening and they can make decisions on their own. And I believe that come elections, September 1, that what they have observed, what they have experienced, and what they know for a fact that the PPP has committed and has delivered on its promises. And so I believe most people, if not all, want that continuation. They are eager to see what is next. And so I believe that because of having that good track record, if you listen to the opposition, they have nothing really to boast about what happened in the 5 years they were in office. But in the last 5 years, there's so much that we can talk about. So I believe that the ballot comes down to the track record, and the PPP has a whole lot to celebrate when it comes to sticking to that track record.
And the message at Tuesday's rally was clear. The PPP is asking communities like Golden Grove to judge it not by the echoes of the past, but by its promises delivered and its vision for what's next. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony, headlining the event, pointed to the visible transformation taking place, not just in Golden Grove, but along the entire East Coast corridor, from better healthcare to education to expanded infrastructure and housing. Now you can get the latest breaking news in sport at newsroom.gy, and you can also follow us on our social media pages. I'm Vishani Raghavu. Thank you for joining.